All right, so we have an on and off switch. We have the hertz, which is your cycles per second. So this is sort of the treatment part. This is your polarity. It's a modified direct current going from negative to positive. So we always take the first setting here, and then the positive and the negative settings are when we're at the final stage of skin brushing, when we're doing iontophoresis. This is your microamps. This is your strength of current. So primarily we're at 640. And then we bring it back down to 320 when we're working around the eyes. You're effectively just turning down the current by half. It's like you're twisting the button down from 1 to half, 0.5, okay? So we're going to leave that at 640. The hertz then is where we decide what we're going to do for our treatment. The first phase that we're going to work on is the relaxing, all right? So what we want to do is we want to stretch out the muscles. So we're going to use a frequency of 90. It creates a little bit more stimulation. It's all about trying to push a little bit of energy into the muscle so that we fatigue it, okay? If it's tired, it'll relax, okay? It'll stretch out. That's the theory behind it. We bend the cotton bud and make sure it's cotton and not plastic. We need it to be able to conduct the current. So we bend it so it doesn't fall out. And then we have our starter button up here, so we're not going to start it as yet, so it means that we can leave the settings in place. We have our microcurrent gel, which is collagen, okay? And what I do for the moment is I just dip my electrodes in, because like that I don't need to put it all over the face as yet, and it'll just dry up. And it's an expensive little product, so we try and work it. So the first muscle that we're going to work on is the corrugator. Again, we keep in full contact, so we don't switch on a machine until we have something. Now we can put it anywhere, but we just need it in, did that before, didn't I? There we are. Now we're started, our timer is going. So the first muscle is the corrugator. So just look to the actual eyebrow, and it's all about timing it. Now, you're going to feel a little bit of pressure, that's all really. You won't feel a current, I don't think. But if I'm going too heavy, just let me know. But what we have to use is we have to use a little bit of pressure on these movements because we need to stretch them out. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then second, so the center, the middle line first. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. When we get to the end of the muscle, we just hold until we count 10. 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, 4 elephant, 5 elephant, 6 elephant, 7, 8 elephant, 9 elephant, 10 elephant. That's our corrugator. Is that okay? Not too heavy? Then we're going to do our frontalis. Now you might feel a little zinging going back into your hairline. So we go from the center of the muscle out. You want to stretch it out, lengthen it, bring it back to its original length. And we're just going to, probably near the arch of the eyebrow, because you want to stretch out the frontalis, but we don't want to stretch or relax your temporalis. We want to lift that bit. So we just go to where that forehead sort of goes into the temple. Now I might just add a little bit more, but I don't take both off at the same time. And now we're going to do, hold on, mentalis. Or I want to go to McDonald's. Okay, so we're going to start at the center and we work it out. You have to be very careful here. If I am going too heavy now, let me know, Margaret. Because we want to press out, but we've also got the teeth here, so we have to be careful. Four 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. And we have to keep the tension. So like if I'm going here, I'm going 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, I'm off the end. Okay, I've lost all the tension, all the stretch in the muscle. So it's important to keep the stretch. So I might stop a bit short, like I'm there now, I'm happy with that. So we go straight all the way. Okay, so there are all the depressors, the mentalis and the depressors. And then we've got this lovely one, you know, our depressor anguli oris that's at the edge. So what we want to do is we want to widen that, if you might stretch it sideways as well as lengthways. So we just have a small little, see like that? Just stretching that muscle out. And we do 2 little dots there. Okay, I'll come back up here and I stop it there. So that's the first stage, that's the relaxing stage, all right? So we've done our corrugator, frontalis, mentalis, depressor labii inferioris, and the depressor anguli oris. The next one, which I'll keep going now, just to kind of get the 2 demonstrated, and we'll hopefully get to practice both of them. I've got my machine switched off, make sure my electrodes are okay, and we're going to do our strengthening now as the next. So what is the setting that we're going to use? We're going to use 3. So we're reducing the frequency down, and I'm going to do the eye. So what do I do when I'm working near the eye? Bring it down half, so I bring it down to 320. Okay? So we're going to work on the orbicularis oculi. Again, you can just to kind of get the machine started, because we start now on the eye area. So the orbicularis oculi, it's really important that we don't go on the eyelid. So we sort of go right in underneath the arch of the eyebrow. But you see there, I'm staying on the bone. 1 is stationary, and then I pinch 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4. Katushka, move around if you have to see. It's important that you're seeing this. Okay, and then I do 2 lines, but I'm still on the bone. I don't want to pop her eye out. I don't want to feel that she feels that I'm going to pop her eye out, okay? So there's 2 lines above, and now we're going to do 3 lines underneath. So 1 is here, that's stationary, and this moves. So we move right around, just along the orbit. And 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4. We move it up slightly, move it in slightly. Now I'm going very gently here. And then I'm going to ask my client, if you feel brave, folks, just look up for me, Margaret. And I'm going to get right in underneath. So that's what's great about this machine, because you can actually work on the eye area. But we're very gentle there. Okay. So now I'm going to increase my intensity back to 640, and I'm going to work on the orbicularis oris. So again, we do it in half, right in on the cupid's bow there at the dip, and as close to the lip without going on the lip. Start a little bit below, and what we want to do is we want to get a little push. You see that? So this is pushing in, and this one is here, so I'm getting a lovely pinch in between. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4. So everything kind of works to 10,000. Then I move up slightly and move out slightly. And then out the very edge of the orbicularis oris. And 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4. So generally you travel for 6 and you pinch for 4. And then finally our strengthening is our buccinator. So our buccinator originates out here, doesn't it? Inserts into the mouth. And I'm trying to kind of get in there, and then I'm moving this one towards it. Oh, look at that now. Lovely. I might do 6,000 there, because I've got all that muscle in there. And that's the middle line is the first line, then one above. And then one below. Now, that's enough for now. Stop my... So for this one, you want to get the nostril is in the way. See the nose is in the way? It's right in here. So it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. And then I kind of put the pressure on the lower one and then pinch in with the top one. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So you remember your Elvis one? And then we just keep them very narrow, very close together. So you want to sort of get a little lift on that cheek. See the way they're all very close together at this stage. Actually do the neck until about the 5th or the 7th treatment, because the muscles in the neck are very strong. So if I'm building up the neck muscles straight away, oh sorry, I'll just take that out of your eye. When I'm building up the neck muscles initially, you'd kind of get this where the neck would become too strong. So what we do for the short term, we just work on your digastric mylohyoid and your platysma. So we just run it up and pinch. And then we just want to stimulate those little muscles all along the jawline. So we just pinch. So we don't need to do this once we start working on the neck, but you don't need to work on the neck until you kind of get the face and that jawline where there's a nice defined contour. You wouldn't start on the neck. All right, and then that's our lifting. After that, then we have our compressions. So this one is just where we push up and we press down. So again, we have a little reason why this might not work very well, but we would hold that for 8, okay? So what we're trying to do here is to lift the eyebrow.
So it would not work on anyone who has buttocks or fillers?
Exactly. You're not going to lift them. Okay, and the next one then is our latent tissue repair. So this is like going opposite to any muscle, and you're just dividing the face in two. So the teeth is kind of the top line and then the bottom line. You'll see what I mean. So it runs right up under the... So what we're doing here is we're just kind of lifting the skin and just putting that little bit of energy into the dermis if we can, and build up the circulation there. Stimulate the fibroblasts where they might just work a little bit better. Produce a little bit more collagen. And the next stage is the final one. So we're going to change our setting right up to 500. We're going to work on our negative pole first, and now we're going to do our skin brushing. So we're working negative to positive. We're still at 640, and we press our machine is on. Now what we're doing here is we're working on the negative pole. And the negative pole, the active electrode is the one with the 2 wires. So again, you've got a bipolar gel, so it works on both. So what we're going to do is, for the first 4 minutes, we're going to work all over the skin, the face, and the neck. Because the neck, the muscle tone is very good, but generally the skin isn't so good. It's generally dry, dehydrated. It might be aging. So it's really good now to start pushing that collagen into the skin. So you can see your circulation's coming up a little bit already. Mm-hmm. Now, if I had lines and wrinkles, I'd be working this negative pole right in. And especially if I had lines and wrinkles around the eyes, I'd be going right in like that into all of the lines, just to really get that circulation up, okay? Now I'm going to do the eyes. Turn it back down to 320, but we only literally do it for a minute maximum. Again, I'd be doing a little bit on the lines, and it's a lot easier just to run it. Now again, we have a sensitive skin here. Change it directly to positive. So what's my positive current going to do? Calm the circulation down. So what I want to do is I want to wake it up, bring up the circulation, but then I want to calm. So we do a maximum of 1 minute on the negative pole over both eyes, and then 3 minutes on the positive. So it's great because it does do great work on the eyes. And then after that, then I'm going to increase my polarity. And now I'm going to do 12 minutes on the positive pole. So we really spend the time to calm the skin, push that beautiful collagen into the skin, calm it, bring back the balance, the pH. So you can see it's a machine in itself. The iontophoresis is part of it. So if anybody wants to do this as a case study, you would just do this machine on its own. So where all the other case studies need to have 2 machines, you can just do this machine. And off we go, working away, dinka, 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 dinka.
And how many machines do I have to have in general? 5?
Mm-hmm. Well, you have 5 cases. For each case, 2 machines.
2 machines.
Each case study 2 machines, except for this one you can just do
Yeah,
one.
because you have
Because
it
you
all.
have all the machines
All in
in
one.
Exactly, and it's a long